G'day and welcome to Aussie Vision. We're talking about the day two of Eurovision rehearsals. We've just seen four countries, which was it was Cyprus, Norway, Croatia, and Belgium. We're just going to run through those right now. Let's start off with Cyprus. They did come out with a bit of a bang, didn't they? What do you think of that, Kyriakos?
Yeah, Elena Tsagrinou really impressed me. Like a lot of anticipation for El Diablo in the lead up to the rehearsals, and I think I was like thinking a lot like, is it going to be a fuego? Is it going to be a replay? But it's definitely its own performance. It's El Diablo, really. Lots of red, a bit of pyros, that large mirror. It just really elevated the performance.
What about you, Mike? You seem to like it as well, didn't you?
Yeah, incredibly impressed with this one. Thought it was incredibly professionally done. Really reminds me of a sort of Sacha Jean-Baptiste kind of performance. You would see the color palette of the red, white, black, reminiscent of She Got Me from Switzerland in 2019. So it all seems to work. And you're right, little elements like that mirror give it a bit of depth and something. So very, very impressive.
And how about you, Liv?
Yeah, I mean, very professional, loved it. Great semi-final opener. Definitely a good one. They're going to go out with a bang and be hard to forget by the end of the night.
Yeah, no, I was really impressed. Very slick and professionals, as you guys said. The vocal was really good without being amazing, but that's all she needed to do. I love the color palette of it all. It was just really professional, and the fire really lifts it up. I loved it. The first run through, I'm like, it's okay. And then the fire came in the second one, and I was like, love it, amazing. Just sailing through the semi-final. There's no issues there. To me, it's somewhere in between a Tempter and a Fuego in delivery. Not as like Fuego, but I think better than Tempter's replay.
I'll agree with that.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go into Croatia first. Michael, let's go to you. What did you think of Tick-tock? Because I know you like the song.
Really love the song. Look, I think there's a lot of elements in this one which can work. I like the use of the technology and the way she's using the LEDs. Has it all come together on the first run? Maybe not. And look, as far as those costumes go, I would burn them and start again. That's just maybe a personal taste thing. But look, it's not dead in the water, but there's a bit of work to do there for Croatia.
What about you, Kiri?
Yeah, the costumes were a bit like Vitus's Seventh Element, like that weird Russian singer guy. But it was good, but not what I expected.
Fair enough. And Liv, you didn't get to catch it, did you?
No, unfortunately missed it. But it sounds like it's probably good because it will give me a fresh pair of eyes and maybe it's been tuned up a bit.
True. That to me was just like, it looks like something that needs to be polished and put together. Almost reminded me, very different, but like how Australia started not great with We Got Love and it got better and better and better. But I still think behind the eight ball. It feels quite messy to me. I think the vocal, there was missing a lot there. There was not great notes in that. There was very off-putting notes, and the costumes were horrible. I really didn't like it. But the kind of clubby pink and blue use I really liked. I thought that was really quite good. And maybe if they can bring it together and that whole 5 versions of her, it could stand out. That just needs a lot of polishing, and I think they're in danger now. All right. What about Norway? They were actually the second ones up. Let's start with you, Liv. You've seen the clips from that?
Yeah, I have. It just looks like Melody Grand Prix on steroids, really, and all for that. I mean, he's done what we kind of expected, right? So, yeah, about that.
Fair enough. And what about you, Kyriakos?
Yeah, he's still got the bling. I did feel like after watching several rehearsals, it definite big improvement. I do prefer the smoke added in, and the pyros did add something to it. Whether they use it or not sure. But yeah, definite improvement from the Norway national final.
And Michael, this is your number one song, so you were very nervous leading up to this. I could tell.
Yeah, look, I was really pleased. Obviously, they had the plan. They had already the outline of what they were going to do. It was all about just making it bigger and brighter for Eurovision, etc. I thought the lighting use from the back of the stage, giving it that sort of light out, really sort of heavenly feel, it was brilliant. They were playing around a bit with this rehearsal, see what works. The smoke kind of worked for me, all that sort of stuff. And I love the added colour they bring into the end. I thought it makes it golden and really warm and great. But I thought it was a terrific performance and a great starting point for Tiggs and Norway.
Yeah, I felt like it was definitely building as each one went on, and you could tell they're really playing around. Yeah, I thought it was not the steroids of what it was, but also just a much more professional looking, a little less. It's still gimmicky. There's giant wings, but it just looks a little bit more slick overall. Also, I thought his vocal by the last run through was really good. The first one, I was like, oh, okay, is it really good? And it was really good, but I think they do need to back him up a little bit more. But a lot of people were questioning his vocals, but I reckon by the time it gets to the night, I'm not concerned about that at all now. And I think that's going to really help because I think it stands alone. The performance at MGP, I think, was enough. It just needed to be zhuzhed up on the Eurovision stage. All right, talking about zhuzhing things up. What about Belgium? Liv, let's start with you. What did you think of this?
Well, the vocals were good. They could have been straight off the studio, and that's really great. But there's no real concept in the staging. There's no story. It's just a bit static.
Just not for you. What about you, Kiri?
Yeah, I personally liked the movement of the camera, and all the focus was on is it Geeky? I can't pronounce the name.
The lead singer.
Yeah, the lead singer, and all the focus was all on her. I thought that was the right thing to do overall. I thought very Hooverphonic performance. Just very much them, and just showcasing them as much as possible.
Fair enough. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, look, I enjoyed the way they set the band up in almost like a square formation with her in the center. I thought that worked really well. It's a very dark performance. Maybe that's just the first run around. Look, the big faces in the screen screaming a little 2017 for me. I didn't find there was too much originality in this or wow factor. So hopefully they might try and knock it up a notch in the next rehearsal. But look, again, with Liv, the vocal was stunning as it always was going to be, but I just need a bit more of a performance. That's all.
And I agree with Kyriakos that movement is the way to go here. And how do you do it? Because how do you make sure a song like Come After Storm did so well because of movement? And this song, as it stands, is a bit of a flat song. So you need to move around. And I thought some of it worked. I loved the shots with the backing singer coming out and like doing the tambourine thing. Loved it. Yeah. But the kind of going around the whole way around, I was like, oh, are you there yet? It's taken a while. You got back to this. It didn't feel like sweeping. It felt like someone was just walking around. But the end bit when they come out as well, I thought was quite good. So there's a couple of decent elements, but overall, it had to really be big to make an impact. And it was just kind of what I expected. Very Hooverphonic, very static, nothing exciting, unfortunately. All right, well, there's the big ones out of that. It sounds like Cyprus so far is the one that's really caught our eye, but also quite impressed with Norway from the sounds of it. And the Croatia is the one that probably has a little bit of work to do. So, all right, well, let's see what the rest of the rehearsals bring us tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.